going on, guys? So, me and a buddy, we were hanging out with another buddy earlier today, and he says, "Man, why is it so hard to find a girl where everything just lines up perfect?" And my buddy Willie, him and I see the world kind of similarly. Um, and we told him, like, buddy, like, you're a grown ass man. You should have figured this out already. And he goes, "I should have figured what out?" If you think you're going to get into a relationship, marriage, whatever, doesn't matter how good the honeymoon phase is. If you think you're going to get into a relationship with another person, male, female, and you think there's not going to be a degree of bullshit, then you've missed the ferry. And the thing is, you find someone with the minimal amount of bullshit. But the important part is someone who realizes that, like you, they understand that there's no right or wrong in a relationship. There's no winners or losers. There's only, if you get into an argument, the only way that argument wins is if both of you win. And that's what it is. Find someone who's capable of looking at themselves and being honest with themselves and saying, yeah, maybe I could have looked at this differently. There's already enough people on this planet that like take their opinion and they're steadfast about it. Just, I'm right. That's it. Once again, the world prepares you by dealing with all the people in it. It prepares you with instilling the notion in you that there is never a scenario where you get everything you want. And trust me, the person that to this point has gotten everything they want, if you think they're going to be a pleasure to be around, got news for you. The idea is compromise, meeting in the middle. Two people willing to sacrifice big things, little things, in order to reach the goal of being together in the long run. So if you're one of those people out there that think, like, why there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to have my way, that's not what life is about. If that's what life was about, there would be fucking nobody else on this planet but you. But instead, you got hundreds of millions of people on this planet, which is hundreds of millions of perspectives, hundreds of millions of viewpoints, hundreds and millions of dreams and aspirations. Basically, hundreds of millions of occasions to learn to compromise. And maybe you say, "Oh, I'm not good at compromising." Well, it's the only game in town. It's, if you're going into your relationship thinking, "Oh, well, I'm going to get everything I want," then basically you're wasting your time and the other person's time. And that's, once again, the reason I don't just jump into another relationship. Because I'm not trying to make the same mistake I made before. I was willing to sacrifice everything, and I was willing to compromise, but I was with somebody who didn't think they had to compromise, who didn't think that it's a partner situation. It's a buddy comedy. It's, there's no scenario where you get everything you want. It does not. There's nothing on the periodic table that you can mix together that'll poof make that happen. But You find people who are willing to compromise in the important things. And, what happens is when somebody compromises for something you want to do, it makes you want to compromise for them, because a rational human being recognizes the sacrifice. And it can't always be the other person making sacrifices, but it also can't be the other person just telling themselves a fairy tale that they're making all the sacrifices. And ladies, gentlemen, whoever the fuck needs to hear this, there's working on a relationship, there's doing things to make a relationship work, and then there's doing mechanically inclined things. Like if the husband pays the power bill every month and that's just the way it is, but he loses his job and you take over paying the power bill for a month, that's not the same thing as working on a relationship. And a lot of people need to understand that. It's amazing to see the amount of people, both women and men, who think, oh, well, I'm doing something I shouldn't have to do. So, that counts as, working on this relationship. No, it doesn't. Working on a relationship means facing head on the issues that make you feel like you want to stop loving that person. And love is what makes you want to persevere and move through that, because the person that you met, that you fell in love with, is still that person. When I remember when me and my wife got married, it was a strange circumstance, but the person marrying us looked at both of us and said, if you want me to marry you guys, I need you guys to answer one question, and that is, why do you want to marry each other? And when she came to me, like, I got tongue-tied, not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I had too much to say. And I was almost moved to tears when my wife was asked, and the things that she said. And then looking back, it breaks my heart, because she lost sight of the fact that that person she described still exists. And here it is, damn near 4 years later, and it still eats me. That is a sad day when someone is so caught up in their own bullshit that they're willing, or they're able to overlook the fact that they had somebody by their side that would have given everything for them. Because, as I've said in videos before, if you think you can find that out in the world today, good luck. Some people will find it. A lot of other people won't. And on a long enough timeline, everybody reaches that realization point where they see, okay, I have all of this material bullshit that I wanted. Why am I not still happy? You're not happy because all that material bullshit was clogging up the biggest part of your brain. I once told my wife, if we lost everything and we had to live in a cardboard box, I would be able to start again. I would be able to rebuild. I'd be able to do anything as long as I had you by my side. And even then I knew it wasn't the same for her, and so I lied to myself. And that's the other thing, wanting something to work, you'll tell yourself that things are working. You'll tell yourself, oh, this isn't what I think it is. But that's another big part of it, is you have to be willing to acknowledge to yourself, it's painful to look back and to know how much I loved my wife, how much I wanted to do for her, how much I was willing to do for her. And then to realize that the reasons she walked were because while she was ignoring all these big picture things, she got up to her neck in a lot of small things. And guys, girls, like, don't make any mistake of thinking that when you live your life by looking over the fence, by counting the things you don't have as opposed to the things you do, then you risk trading amazing things for things that you want now, but will realize down the line, once wisdom in life has gotten its hooks into you, that you fucked up majorly. And there's nothing worse than at that point sticking to your bullshit, because the entire process of life is a teaching tool. You should be learning every single day. And when you have someone that loves you so much and you convince yourself that you hate them for petty, insignificant bullshit reasons, and maybe even some good ones, you're not looking at the whole. And the fact is, you want to find somebody that no matter what will be there for you. Someone who, for them, you are that flame that allows them to keep standing up after getting beaten down. Because it's a dime a dozen for people that'll just fuck you and stick around because it's comfortable, and that's a terrible thing. That's one of those things. That's what I was talking about in my my tragedy video. It's tragic because we get so caught up in this mindset that we think we know what we want, what the right thing is, and we get so caught up in that when the universe erects itself to put something in your path that is truly rare and amazing, and rather than looking at it for what it is, trying to see the good in it, you just pick out the bad because it's not that thing that you want, because you want it. How do the Rolling Stones say it? You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. That's what it is. And maturity is being able to see when what you're holding out for is something insignificant in comparison to the rarest and most beautiful miracle this world has to offer, and that is unconditional love without concern for themselves. Truly think about that. How many people in your life do you know right now that care and love you enough that anything you can throw won't affect that? Someone who will stand by your side no matter what, no matter the abuse you throw on them, no matter how you treat them like trash, no matter how many things that you do to show that person that you just don't care, and that person sticks around, that person loves you anyway. That is truly fucking sad. People say, oh, that's not what life is about. Life is about, doing what you're passionate about. Yeah, it is about doing what you're passionate about, doing things that you love. And you know what makes it easier to do the things that you love? Someone who's there that loves you more than you love yourself and refuses to let you go another day without stoking that beautiful original fire that is you. And the thing is, people can think I'm wrong. People have no problem sending me messages telling me that they think that I'm getting it wrong. But yet, not a single person who has disagreed with me has given a better analysis, has given a better package. I've been all the way to the bottom. I've been all the way to the top, because the cool thing about the top is the highs that you feel. You may see people, in private jets going to, the Bahamas, and, that may be the greatest moment of their life for them, but it's all relative. Me, I'm happiest when somebody legitimately wants to put my artwork up somewhere where they can look at it all the time. I sold a painting today, and the guy says, I want to put it in my restaurant. I want people to see it. I want everybody to see it. And I want to be able to tell those people where I got it. That, for me, was transcendent. And so many people get caught up on the dream that the United States banks created. House, white picket fence, dog, 2 kids. Banks created that American dream. So you'd buy a house. Houses aren't made for people, they're made for banks. The thing is, people that follow that, they all suffer from the same problem. They have no fucking idea what truly makes them happy, because they have no idea what, really gets them going. If you can give someone a house and they're like, awesome, because they think, oh, I got that taken care of. And they go through all the motions of all the other things. This is a person who has neglected to ask themselves, what would make me happy? And so they're doing what other people are doing when they don't know what makes them happy. Settling down, minimizing the inconveniences in your life is the surefire sign of somebody who has no fucking clue how life works, how they work, what makes them happy, what drives them and inspires them. It's truly sad. If I had the choice between someone giving me a house, a perfect wife, kids right now, or leaving me to figure things out on my own and all the adventures that entails, it's not even a competition. And yeah, my road is going to be tricky sometimes. But the things I'll learn from that, truly profound. Not things you're going to learn making lemonade for your kids and your husband who's fucking his secretary. You need to ask yourself, everybody needs to ask himself, what makes me happy? And you'd be surprised how many people have no fucking idea. So, what would make you happy? I don't mean financially, I don't mean a good job and all that stuff. If money wasn't an issue, if you had all those things, those stupid bullshit material things that you had, what would make you happy when you had all that stuff taken care of? You have a house, you have a husband or a wife, you have kids, you've done everything that you think you need to do. On that Saturday when you don't work, what are you excited to do? What is it that drives you, that makes you happy? If it has anything to do with somebody else, wrong. What would make you happy to your core? And that's something that I can't answer for you. Nobody can answer for you, because it's uniquely you. And it's not so uniquely being ignored in a lot of people. And those people ignoring all those things, are completely missing the truly beautiful garden that life could be. Life isn't meant to be just free of annoyances and hardships. You need hardships to learn. Life is how you deal with hardships, the attitude you keep. You disagree with me? Do it quietly. Or, if you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree with me. And this pessimistic bullshit, I'm not going for pessimistic bullshit. There's enough pessimism in the world. I don't want to look at the world as a glass half empty. Who the fuck wants to do that? Anybody who's trying to start a conversation like, this is why life sucks. Well, good. Life's going to suck for you with that attitude. Congratulations. You've already fucked up it, and you haven't even got to step one. Think about it. Don't like, don't subscribe. Just be good to each other. Love each other. Love the people that love you and care enough to stick around while you're being a piece of shit. That's it.